This episode is sponsored by Love Chapter. If you guys are looking for wedding services all under one roof, and we're talking about catering, venue, bridal, photo, video, we have it all. So if you guys are interested to know more, you guys can WhatsApp us at 8714-6612, 8714-6612. And you guys can follow us on our social media, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Love Chapter by Wedding Guys. Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to Rebate Podcast with me, Hassan Rahman. And Alhamdulillah, okay guys, aku actually quite happy because ever since I told you guys that kita return from this Rebate Podcast, I wouldn't say this is season 2 lah. It's just that at that point of time, kita took a short break and I've informed you guys that after this comeback, aku will invite guests, not just besides the part 1. Yang time aku baru-baru start podcast ni, kita invite kebanyakan semua lelaki lah. Actually semua lah in fact. And then some of them came as a couple, husband and wife. But baru-baru ni, I'm quite happy that, when I invited some of the ladies lah, to come and share. They are very positive. And then they're willing to come down to share. And aku feel honoured lah, to have them. As my previous guest pun, korang pun dengar macam Sarah, Kak Susanti. And hari ni, kita ada another guest dengan kita. So I feel that the story is going to be very interesting, inspiring, and hope it can motivate the younger generation out there. And with me here in the studio, Shara. Apa khabar Shara?
Hai, baik.
So I call you Shara lah.
Shara
Kan? By the way, thank you so much Shara. And Shara was actually referred by Ali Bai lah. Yeah, and he was the one yang pushed me juga. Macam kau should invite Shara, cerita dia baik. So Alhamdulillah, I'm happy that you are here.
Thank you
to
for
come
having
down.
me.
Yes, I'm so honored. Although I don't know you personally, but Ali also did share some highlights of your past. So I think this is the best. It's best where kita pun dapat dengar lah sendiri from you. So I heard now you work in the bank.
Yes.
Wow, how's working in the bank?
Okay lah. Very tiring, stressful, but suka lah dia punya environment and it's challenging. Jumpa orang-orang yang challenging, so the job, everything. I love my job lah.
Yeah.
Okay lah.
So memang, have you ever thought of being a banker?
No, I'm not a banker. I'm
Okay.
just like a admin.
Okay,
Yeah.
was it hard, going into the bank industry to work? Maksudnya macam bila nak interview tu semua, was it hard getting in?
Not really, because I already know the person in charge. So she just recommended me because she know that I can do the job.
Faham.
Yeah.
And to my understanding, you are also a volunteer
Yes.
dekat Singapore. Sekarang ni Singapore Girls Home.
Yes, correct.
So how was it?
Okay lah.
Is it lain tak? Macam okay, if we compare to sekarang punya generation dengan dulu, is it different ke atau sekarang makin wild ke, or what's the comparison? What's the difference lah?
Sekarang makin wild.
Oh, sekarang makin wild.
Yes.
Macam mana main wild? Diorang punya rebellious ke?
Yes. Very rebellious. Tak boleh dengar cakap. But so far, when I come in as the social worker, they listen to me lah. Yeah. So they are pushing me to work there also.
Faham.
So tengah fikir lah kalau if this is really the industry that I want. Pasal I just actually go there not to work or what. I just nak tolong dorang lah.
Faham.
Yeah.
But I mean like when you mention that sekarang lagi wild, is it that macam, bila teringat balik zaman dulu dengan zaman sekarang, then you will tell yourself, ini tak macam aku dulu lah kira.
Tak sangat lah. Okay, pasal dulu like during my time when I was in girls home, at least kita nakal tapi kita still respect the officers. Sekarang is dorang just very kurang ajar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it must be challenging.
Yes.
And also you mentioned that, so you are now volunteering in girls home. Sedangkan you dulu pernah masuk girls home.
Yep.
So talking about that, it makes me wonder, what did you do that sampai you masuk girls home? But before we know, you want to know more about how you went into girls home? Maybe you can share with us in the beginnings lah. Your beginnings, your rebellious time, how it started, where it started. Maybe you can share with us like
Okay.
as early as berapa umur tu yang you start to do all these things.
I don't really have the right age bila I start the rebellious part lah. But I think when it really all started was pasal before I go girls home and all that, I was in the orphanage. So I was this innocent girl yang kena campak dekat Darul Ihsan orphanage because I went through abuse with one of my family member lah. So pasal I tak ada I don't have a parent figure. Both of my parents abandoned me when I was very young. Actually not when I was very young, like when I was a baby lah. So I've never met my father before. I don't know how he looks like. And my mom at that point of time belum pernah jumpa dia lagi. So but I still have her photo albums and everything because I grew up with my grandmother. So okay lah, masih ada gambar semua, like how she look like roughly. Okay lah, masih boleh okay, I know lah, okay, this is my mother. And dengar cerita-cerita lah pasal my mother dulu. So apparently my mom abandoned me when I was 3 years old. So dari situ my nenek take me lah. My nenek take me and then
so they abandoned you at the orphanage and that's why your nenek came to the orphanage?
No. That belum lagi. So my nenek so my mom abandoned me, suruh nenek I jaga lah. So and then my grandma took care of me, but my grandma tak ada tempat tinggal. So we stayed with my auntie and my uncle lah. So and then the abuse start to happen when I was around 8-9 years old lah. So but dorang pun cakap I nakal. So I'm very I was already rebellious when
mischievous lah.
Yes, I was already very mischievous when I was very very young lah. So that's why dia pukul. But when I say pukul kan, it's not pukul macam sepak. It's not like that. It's really rabak punya pukul sampai I go to school with bruises. So when my primary school punya principal tu, apparently dia VIP in this Darul Ihsan orphanage lah. Ataupun dia volunteer, something like that. So and then she recommended my grandma, say that why not you hantar her dekat sini. They will really take care and they will really take care of the girls and everything lah if she's really qualified. So my grandma talked to one of the officers dekat Darul Ihsan orphanage and then I'm qualified lah because both my parents tak ada pun. Yes, and when I'm staying with my family who's supposed to protect me, instead they abused me and made me like a slave, right? So ended up I was there lah, tinggal dekat situ.
Sorry, can I pause you there? During that point of time bila you cakap you kena abuse at home, don't mind me asking, is it that point of time the vibe at home macam the gangster vibe ke, drugs ke, atau macam they just seem normal but
gangster vibes?
Okay, faham.
Yeah, definitely gangster vibes lah. Yeah, and I was just like 8-9 years old. So they expect me to do all the house chores and everything, which I'm okay lah pasal kita tumpang rumah orang kan. Like it's not my grandma's house, it's not my house, it's definitely not my parents' house. So I okay lah to help out. Tapi when I never do something that they ask me to do, like for example lah, like one of these scenarios lah, so my family member ni suruh I, kau pergi bersihkan ni kipas, make sure nanti aku balik kipas ni dah bersih. Then after I'm like, oh okay, but kipas tu is kena unscrew. So how am I gonna do it? I need you to unscrew the kipas kan. Habis lepas tu so I didn't do it lah. I waited for him to come back home and unscrew it. But instead kena pukul lah. And the punya pukul is like he was like strangle me.
Macam torture lah.
Yeah, it is torture lah actually. Yeah, so and this happened is in front of my grandmother, happened in front of my auntie, so they saw everything and they ignore lah. Even if they try to stop, dorang pun tahu lah actually dorang pun akan kena lah. So no one protected me lah at that point of time. So and then
so you were sent to Darul Ihsan?
Yes, because they saw the bruises and they my family is very manipulative. Dorang sampai cakap I cause the bruises is I am the one that do it on myself.
At that point of time you didn't choose to share with anyone until the school found out about your bruises?
Actually, I was sharing with my primary school friend lah. I say, aku kena macam gini. Then after that, my friend was the one who told the teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and then that's how it all happened lah. So the principal volunteer kan dekat Darul Ihsan Orphanage. So and then that's how I went to Darul Ihsan lah. So I was there from when I was 9 years old sampai 13 tahun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So from primary 3 till sec 1 lah kira.
Yes,
Can
correct.
you share a little bit the experience the moment you masuk? Dia macam Girls' Home punya vibe ke atau
No, it's
memang
not.
baik-baik ke?
Yes,
Okay.
but that's where I like really betul become nakal. Because they say, rumah anak yatim. But no, everyone like I know everything there. Like I started smoking there.
Yeah.
I started to know like macam like lelaki dengan perempuan sebenarnya macam gini.
Can I say is it because mostly the people there also came from a broken family?
Yes,
They are
yes.
exposed to all this and that's why they share all this inside the orphanage.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were exposed to all this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So at first I was very sad lah, and that I was put into this home lah. But after a while, it really became like a home to me because they treat me very nicely and all that lah. But like what I say lah, like how I really become betul-betul nakal is when I was there. So actually I was this innocent girl that was just thrown into this home, and then that's how I became like that. Yeah. So after that 4 years, I got thrown out from the orphanage. So actually by right you can stay there until 21 years old.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So they will provide you with everything. They will support everything lah. Even when you discharge already from after 21 years old, they will give you an apartment and all that. Just you have to find a good job lah.
Yeah.
But I was already thrown out when I was 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I was already thrown out.
Why were you thrown out?
Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so when I was in Darul Ihsan, right? When I just came in, so I was just 9 years old, right?
Yep.
So girls over there that yang duduk dekat Darul Ihsan tu, kan ada kakak-kakak kan yang 18 tahun,
So, campur,
19 campur, sampai
campur.
21 tahun.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so we all sleep together. So when I just came in, they bullied me.
Okay.
So I'm just this 9 years old girl yang kena bully dengan kakak-kakak lah. So it's not just me, it's my batch of girls yang around the same age as me also. So they will make us naked and do 100 push-ups in the toilet and everything.
100 push-up which you tak
Yeah.
pernah buat before the whole life. Tak pernah push-up. Masuk rumah anak yatim kena push-up
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So and then so this thing is like macam cycle tau. So when they left, it's like our batch already.
Yeah, so
Then
technically dah macam Girls' Home punya culture lah kira.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's more open lah. It's more open.
Okay.
Like macam kita boleh keluar, kita boleh pergi sekolah and everything. But Girls' Home tak boleh apa.
Yep.
Girls' Home cannot. So I got bullied quite badly lah when I was very very young. So when they left, and then it's like our batch already take over. So when I do it, I got caught. Pasal bila time kita tak tembak, we never say anything. We kept quiet.
Yeah.
But the new generation that when came in and we did this kind of thing, dorang complain lah. So I got kicked out.
Oh, tak ada warning, tak ada apa. Terus
Terus
kalau
buang
kat
because
dalam
they don't
kena
tolerate.
tangkap, tak ada punishment like like caning ke atau
Okay, because in Girls' Home, for example, if kalau buat salah ke apa, they will put you in the lockup.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Darul Ihsan, they will put you in the sick bay. Because there's no lockup and everything. So when I was in the sick bay, it's like nothing to me because I can climb out of the window and then just go back to my dorm.
Okay, faham.
Yeah.
Wow, so then is due to that you kena buang daripada Darul Ihsan.
Yes.
But at that point of time, you still have no like macam you don't have a guardian to accept you, right?
My grandma?
Oh, so you patah balik dekat grandma?
Yes.
Wow, okay. So this one lagi, I believe that at the point of time you dah a bit rebellious lah.
Yes.
Okay, so how's the
So
journey?
can say that actually I like they all like to tell me like macam kau tak sedar diri, mak bapak kau dah tak nak kau, nenek kau jaga kau. But I feel that most of my life memang like I reach puberty also when I was in the home. Not when bila nenek aku jaga aku. So for me it's like, no, my nenek never raised me lah. It's a different thing lah.
Yeah.
So and then so my nenek take me back, right? After I got kicked out. Then my nenek take me back. Then I go to secondary school. And then I met my best friend and everything lah. So jadi lagi jahat.
Faham.
Yeah, start taking drugs.
As early as
13.
Wow. So the sec 1 tu you dah literally exposed and
Yes,
Okay.
exposed to
habis
everything
kawan
already.
pula pun is memang buat benda-benda macam gini.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and then and then became worse lah. So and then I was only outside for 2 years. And then when I was 15 years old, terus dah kena tangkap lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tadi you cakap that you were exposed to drugs, right? How it started? Macam maksudnya like, I mean you don't have to be in detail apa korang buat ni semua. Like, how do you manage to find people and then get the supplies? And then macam mana? Because 13 is like very, very young for someone to macam, you know, have the courage to try this out. So how's the process that point of time?
It's not within my circle of friends. It's my friends' parents.
Ui, okay,
Yeah.
faham. Okay.
Yeah. So I literally smoke drugs with my friends and their parents. Yeah.
So how do you get caught sampai kena hantar girls home?
It wasn't because of drugs. It was because me and my friend ni kita pukul satu orang ni lah. And then we rob this person also. So I got charged with robbery with grievous hurt. It's a combination of rioting and robbery together.
Ramai-ramai lah? Ada ramai orang ke?
No, rioting is five people and above, but we only had 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so they cannot charge us rioting lah because it's 5 people and above. So I got charged with robbery with grievous hurt.
Which is berat juga tak tu.
Yeah. So but so my friend pasal dia ada family support kan, so she only got tagging.
Okay.
She only got tagging. For me is I need to go petapis.
Oh.
Yeah, so
okay.
my sentence is 1 year petapis, 4 months tagging and 9 months home probation.
Okay.
So that was my sentence lah, total of 24 months. Habis lepas tu I was only in petapis for 3 months and then they kicked me out.
Tapi that time you masuk petapis dah tak payah takut apa-apa lah because dah ada
No.
experience dekat Darul Ihsan, the culture and everything.
Okay, petapis punya culture is they are more to like ugama.
Okay.
But
faham.
they will bully you if you don't know your ugama. So when I was in petapis, it was very funny.
Okay.
Pasal bila I kat Darul Ihsan, every day lepas maghrib, because I was there for like 4 to 5 years kan. So every day lepas maghrib kita kena ngaji.
Okay.
So I khatam Quran dah 4 kali dah. I khatam Quran dah 4 kali. So when I went to petapis, pun kita pun kena ngaji juga. So the ustazah dekat situ pun boleh tahan kurang ajar lah. Dia cakap okay ngaji Iqra 1. Then after I say tapi I can read already lah. Then after that dia cakap awak biar betul boleh baca. Saya betul boleh baca tak I don't need to go back to the basic lah.
Tak kata pun.
Terus then after that dia panggil one of the senior lah. Kasih dia Iqra 6, kasih dia baca depan kita. Then after I read in front of everyone. So dorang terkejut. Macam because even the senior over there cannot read Arabic as fluent as me.
Okay.
So dorang macam okay, this girl cannot bully already. Pasal it's in petapis is this thing. Kalau kau tak tahu ngaji, kau tak tahu solat, kau tak tahu baca doa untuk masuk tandas, kena bully.
Bully ni daripada the girls or the staff actually?
Both.
Oi, rabak juga gitu Torture saya tu
they
macam
will judge you.
Okay, faham.
Yeah, so every day in petapis is nak kena hafal-hafal macam gini lah. So that is the culture in petapis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tadi you cakap you kena buang juga daripada petapis.
Yes.
Because it's a sentence, right?
Yes.
So they can still throw you out for the place.
Because that's not the end. They can still send you back to girls' home.
Kenapa tu pula diorang buang?
So I was smoking lah. Smoking dekat tempat sembahyang tu. Kat belakang tu ada macam backstage lah. So we were smoking backstage.
Mana korang dapat rokok ni?
Smuggle during parents visit.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so I already dah kena pasal isap rokok tu kan. Then underage 1. Habis lepas tu isap rokok dekat backstage musola pun lagi 1.
Yeah,
So that was one thing. And then another thing was pasal ada satu perempuan ni, dia was very angry lah that me and my friend dapat isap rokok. So dia pun tembak kita, tembak us to the staff lah, yang kita pergi isap rokok lah, apalah ni semua. So I wanted to beat her up lah. So belum pukul dia pergi potong tangan dia. Dia nak bunuh diri pasal dia takut. So I literally got charged with threatening.
Faham.
So the police came down, asked me to write a statement. I literally kena charge threatening and underage smoking. So dorang hantar balik Gesum untuk remand.
Oh, sedih apa?
Yeah, so just 3 months. Dorang dah buang dah.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then I went back to Gesum remand for 1 month, and then the judge hear my story. Alah, kesian kan. Apa ni, perempuan ni, okay lah, kasih dia chance lah, kasih dia pergi hostel. Hostel lagi satu. So this time I went to a Christian home.
That one is what, in Challenge?
St. George's Residence. It's a private hostel lah.
Okay, this is the first time I'm hearing. This is for girls only?
For girls only.
Okay.
It's beside Singapore Boys Hostel dekat Boon Keng.
Okay, okay.
So I stayed there, and 6 months. Okay, at least I get to stay there for 6 months. And then because the hostel ada terlalu banyak freedom lah, so you got greedy with the freedom, cabut, lari,
Abscon lah.
abscond. Yeah.
Tapi okay, all this macam petapis dengan hostel, you weren't really bullied a lot lah. Maksudnya pasal you dah experience kan?
Yes.
So you don't really macam the first moment yang you masuk tu tak ada macam kena bully.
Tak ada.
Tak ada macam yang intimidation ke apa-apa semua tak ada.
The intimidation part was St. George's Hostel was very friendly and very nice lah. Macam kita really protect and take care of each other. Petapis was more of like you really need to survive lah. And cara nak survive tu is agama punya way lah. If not, then they will just tekan you for fun lah, which dalam Islam is wrong lah.
Yeah,
correct or not? Sepatutnya kau kena ajar.
Diorang cari can lah sebenarnya.
Yes,
okay.
But with me they cannot lah, because I already know a lot.
Faham.
Yeah.
So you absconded 6 months after your stay dekat hostel. What made you wanted to abscond? I mean like you kena sentence hostel setahun.
No, continue back my sentence. So
Which is?
My sentence is 1 year petapis kan. So 3 months dorang buang. So I get to continue my sentence in St. George's.
Which is 9 months lah.
Yes.
So 6 months you serve. That means you lagi 3 bulan nak keluar.
Yeah.
Kenapa tiba-tiba nak ni? Dah ada boyfriend lah tu?
Influence lah. Just influence lah.
Kadang-kadang macam gitu. Nanti dah, you know, because I was there, biasalah nanti kadang-kadang dia kenal dengan Gesum sana, Gesum kenal dengan Boysum sini.
Yeah,
so I think, I mean for you, it's influenced by friends, and then that's where you decided to abscond.
Yeah.
And how long did you absconded?
Abscond 1 month je. Then I myself surrender.
Okay, kenapa
Because
you
I wanted to finish this lah. Pasal it hit me lah. Dia ala tinggal berapa bulan je. But they didn't accept. So I got thrown to Singapore Girls Home.
It's like a new charge lah kira, for abscond.
For abscond.
And kena berapa lama tu kat Gesum?
2 years. So they restart the whole thing. Tetapi so diorang tak kira. Yang St. George's tu pun diorang tak kira. Is they just restart the whole shit lah.
Okay, so lagi 3 bulan, then after that 2 tahun. Okay, faham. So this time round dah masuk Girls Home for abscond. Tapi okay, before you kena sentence to Girls Home I believe bila time you dekat hostel, petapis, you could have heard the rumours lah. Okay, Girls Home macam gini, bully dia macam gini, is much more mental torture. Were you mentally prepared bila kena hantar Girls Home?
No. Actually, I was very pissed off with the judge. Pasal I thought dorang akan kasih 15 atau 18 bulan.
Faham.
Yeah, so when I heard 24 months, I maki the judge.
Tapi still dapat 24 lah.
Still dapat 24. I say, fuck you lah, 24. Fuck you lah, 24 months. Then they just throw me inside.
This was when? During your time as a judge me, bukan eh?
Nama dia Judge Fu. I still remember his name.
Sorry, tepuk. No. Sorry, judge.
Shit.
Yeah, sorry, judge. Objection lah. Yeah, I think okay. So I think we want to take a short break. We want you to share your journey juga dekat dalam Girls Home. And how did you manage to be someone who is not happy with the sentence, going to Girls Home, tapi sekarang jadi volunteer dengan Girls Home. So we take a short break. We will come back part 2 dengan Syara. With that guys, settle.